Hi snooker fans, Curtis Braithwaite here for QSports.club. I'm sat with three-time ranking event finalist and current world number 24, Ryan Day. How are you, mate?
Very good, thank you, Curtis. Very good.
Right, Ryan, what made you take up snooker in the beginning?
My dad, I think. I used to go everywhere with him on a Saturday afternoon. He used to play soccer, and I'd always be in the clubhouse playing on the pool table, and then it went from there to the snooker table, and that's where it all started.
Quality stuff. Right, now today, who's had the most influence on your career?
It'd be my dad, like I said. He's the one that started me off, and then junior tournaments up and down the country, driving every weekend. I'd be taking that up and down to Willie Thorne's more often than not, most weekends, and yeah, he's helped me out, and he'd be the biggest influence. Okay,
now what are your goals for the coming season?
I don't actually set goals, you know. I just it's still early in the season as far as I'm concerned. You're really impressed, and you know, so practice has been pretty much non-existent after Sheffield, and just hoping to get through the three events, and then I'm going on holidays a couple of times, and after that it feels like the season's about to start, so we're just winging it before then.
Well, alright for some holidays, a couple of holidays, alright for some where we're all grafting, but enjoy. Now, of all the great cue makers out there, pal, what cue do you currently use?
I'm using a cue from Thailand. I've had it for a couple of years. I've always used Trevor White cues before that, and I fancied a change a couple of years ago, and his name's Jack, Tom Praram cues. He sent me 3 through in the post, and the one that I'm using, as soon as I picked it up I could play with it, so yeah, it felt great from the off, and I've stuck with it.
And the players are pretty particular about the tips that they use. What tip do you currently use?
I'll have to die John's answer yesterday to this. He didn't have a clue what tip he used. I use an Elkmaster, but then I did switch to one of the Kamuis, I think they called.
Yeah.
The black one, and it split like everybody warned me that it would.
Yeah.
And I didn't really miscue or do anything. Just half the tip fell off, so I switched straight back to an Elkmaster.
Right, now you're a former top 16 player and you've had quite a bit of success in your career, but what's your most memorable match to date?
Good question. It'd probably be one of the ones at the Crucible, maybe. Maybe beating John Higgins, maybe Ding Junwei. It's a couple of good matches. I remember playing a really good match with Ali Carter up in Glasgow in the Grand Prix in a semi-final. So yeah, no real standouts, just lots of good matches.
Okay, pal. Now this is a bit of a sore one, mate. But what's your most painful defeat?
Probably the first time I qualified for the Crucible, playing John Higgins 9-7 in front. I think I was on 64 and stupidly played for a maximum. Ended up losing 10-9 on the pink or black, or and yeah, I remember that being very painful.
Okay, mate. With loads of hardened match players on tour, who would you say is the toughest player to beat?
For me, it'd probably be Mark Allen, because I haven't got a good record against him. But I think Selby's at the minute the most complete player. Just never really plays the wrong shot, and safety's, well, just granite, and doesn't give you much for freedom really to get into games. So yeah, Mark Selby for me.
Now, Ryan, you haven't managed to get your hands on a world ranking event yet, but a lot of us believe it's not if, but really when, because like we are very, very highly rated. But what would you say is your best personal achievement in snooker to date?
Like you said, it's difficult to, having not won a ranking event, to to say, but probably, I don't know, probably I'd go with, that's a good question, Curtis, man. The 147 I'm in, it's quite special moment, you know, it's loads and loads of chances, never done one, and then when it finally happened, it was a bit surreal really, because I was sharing a room with Mark King, and hadn't slept a wink all night. We're both struggling to get to sleep, and I played Cow Yu Peng, I think it was, and played out my skin with literally no sleep at all, and finished the match off with a 147. So yeah, it was a good buzz.
Hey, good stuff. It shows you sleep's overrated, eh?
Yeah, overrated, mate. Sleep when you're dead, mate.
Quality stuff now. Now, you're quite a joker on tour. I've been at the end of a few of your jokes anyway, that's for sure. But tell me who your best friend on tour is.
I'm good friends with a lot of the Welsh players, obviously. I probably spend the most time when we're away at tournaments with Matthew Stevens, so everyone knows Matthew's all about, and he's a good lad.
Good stuff. And what's your favourite food, Ryan?
Oh, anything really. Not fussy eater, as you can probably tell. If I had to pick one meal, it'd probably be at an Indian restaurant.
Okay. And your favourite drink?
Coffee. Okay.
Now, what's your favourite venue to play at?
This one's a good one, Preston Guildhall. But I love playing at Sheffield.
Crucible. Yeah. A lot of players have said that's definitely a unique atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, now, you guys don't get much time to relax away from the table with such a tough schedule, but when you actually do get a chance to relax, where do you like to do so?
Football back in the day. I used to play on the Saturday and train a couple of times a week, but I broke a couple of fingers doing that one Saturday afternoon. I thought maybe it's time to knock it on the head. So now I got a young family. My daughter's into lifeguards and stuff, so I enjoy Saturdays, especially the weather's good at the minute down the coast on the weekend. So yeah, when I'm home, I enjoy spending time at the seaside.
Right, now I remember last year at Blackpool seeing you drop some dance moves on the old dance floor, mate. But what's your favourite music to listen to?
That must have been during the shootout, was it?
Yeah, correct, mate. Correct.
You can't play in the shootout without having a drink, can you? What's going to happen this year when everyone's playing for ranking points?
Tell me about it, mate. Tell me about it.
What's my favourite? Like Lionel Richie, probably Dancing on the Ceiling.
Nice. And who's your sporting hero when you were growing up?
Pete Sampras.
Okay. All right, Ryan, last question. If you could run world snooker, what changes would you make and why?
I've just been speaking to David John up there, and he's new on the tour, and he asked the question, why did 64 go to China? Why can't they play 2 matches in qualifying and take 32? So I think that's more than a valid point. So that's one thing I'd look at. Well, it's difficult. There's so many tournaments. I like to see them. But sometimes you have a rush of tournaments, and then there's a couple of months off, maybe, or 6 weeks off. Maybe they could schedule it slightly differently. I don't know really. It might be awkward to do because after qualifying for India, China, you might need to allow time for visas and things like this. But I think certainly taking 32 players to a venue instead of 64 would be a good step forward.
Right, Ryan, thank you so much for your time, mate, and all of us at Q Sports Club would really like to thank you for your effort in actually giving us his interview, because you wasn't too happy about doing it earlier on.
No problem.
But I wish you all the very best for the coming season, mate.
Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, bye.